Okay, as promised, here's a whirlwind tour of my garden. This right here is a hardy kiwi. It grows in our climate, North Carolina, and grows little grape-sized kiwis. This is a passion flower, Passiflora incarnata. It produces maypops and pretty flowers. Here's one of my apple trees. It's got some apples on it. This is lemon balm that's flowering, and anise hyssop, which the bees love. It's a random borage plant. The blue flowers are edible. Tastes like cucumber. Here's my other apple tree, which dropped all its apples. Here's some more anise hyssop. Basil, previous broccoli plant that I let flower, and just gonna feed the bugs with that since I don't care about it. Pepper plant, basil that's going, radish that's going to seed. Onion right here. Random several tomato plants that grew from a compost dump. Oh, and this is some marigold I planted next to it. My first ever pomegranate from this pomegranate tree came in my place. Here's a blackberry coming through the tree. Here's the rest of it. Got some blackberries coming in. This whole thing you see in front of you is former compost pile slash hugelkultur mound, which is where, when you bury wood under the ground, rotting wood, so that it serves as a moisture bank. I have some gourds that are growing in here. Various other things I have. Here's the watermelon. This is a potato that came from compost. Some purple hull peas. So going over here, this is a new thing I did this year. Sort of a trellising of my tomatoes up. With the Cherokee purple tomatoes last year, some of them were rotting on the ground, so I just wanted to do a better job of getting them off the ground this time. I have borage interspersed on one of my tomato plants because it can keep some of the tomato hornworms away, supposedly, or the moth that causes it. This is a Malabar spinach, which is a spinach that grows in the summer very well. It's sort of from India. Running some other cowpeas up here. Some more Malabar spinach. More tomatoes. More of these purple hull peas. Lots of basil through here. Some parsley. More tomatoes. Here's cucumbers. Here's my grapevine, which is still getting started. I have some more blackberries over here. Here's some cherry tomatoes that are coming in. I already picked them today. More borage. You can cook these leaves if you cook them thoroughly. They eat them in Germany. This is a little bit more of the same, except I have some sage in the middle, comfrey, which I'm going to use for a natural fertilizer in the future. The sage is dying. More sage. Broccoli, eggplant, pepper plant, kale, eggplant. Here my this previous broccoli plant is a structure for my cucumber to grow over. Oh, there's a little baby. More herbs, parsley, basil, onions. Here I have some more pepper plants on the border, and tomatoes sort of in the middle because they take up a lot of space. Here's peanut, more kale, more peppers, eggplant, tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, peppers, and cucumbers. Okay, now we go to part 2. Here is a watermelon patch in my yard. I had a little mound right here that I kept pretty well mulched in the beginning, and now I'm just kind of letting it go. Here's a small bed with tomatoes, peppers, and beans growing up, tomato plants that I didn't plant. These were just wild. Here's my little tea tree. The only one that survived. I had 2 last year, but they didn't make it. Didn't all make it. This is a pawpaw tree, which I got for free, and hopefully it will live. The roots didn't look that great. Persimmon, American persimmon. Another sprawling watermelon patch. Here's my fig tree. Some figs growing on there. My video cut off, so here we go again. That's the fig. There's some more in there too. Alright. Here we have a loofah and random tomato plant. This is my zucchini, which is very monstrous. Gotten several large zucchinis off this already, and there's another large one in there. It's like 7 or 8 inches. And throughout here I have some pole beans running up this fence in the back, tomato plants, pepper plants jutting out of the zucchini plants. These are Borghese tomatoes, sort of an Italian vintage. I also have some strawberries in here. Originally this bed had strawberries and I didn't. So after all this dies, my strawberry plants will survive and maybe spread out a little bit. Here we have amaranth, which is a seed grain. You can pop it like popcorn or make oatmeal out of it. All the tomato plants in this bed were not planned. They just popped up from random tomatoes from last year. And I have a bunch of pole beans growing in the back as well. Another watermelon plant explosion. There's my blueberry bush. I harvested earlier today, but I missed some apparently. Oh, and here's my pear tree. I have 3 pears. It's an Asian pear called Shinseki pear. I only have one, but it pollinated in the nursery, so you need 2 pear trees to cross-pollinate. But I got away with 1 this year. Alright, so now we have an enclosed garden that came with my house. That I planted some herbs here, sage, oregano. There was some thyme, but it got kind of shaded out. Here's my large strawberry patch. I've taken a lot of strawberries out of here and transplanted them to other places in the yard. See, I have loofah growing out of here. I'm gonna make that go to the fence. Other random tomatoes, a lot of random tomatoes over here that popped up from seeds that just went into the dirt. And some squash plants here. More kale, more purple whole peas. More tomato plants. There's a little mini strawberry patch. This is a broccoli that never produced a head, but I'm leaving it. More sage, more oregano, garlic chives. This is asparagus, which I've just not been worrying about. And there's some more peanuts. Watermelon patch is coming in through here as well. I guess I planted some zucchini here too. I mean cucumber. So that's cool. Okay, now let's go check out the rest. Here's another watermelon patch. And our peach tree, which had probably 10 peaches on it a few weeks ago, but an animal ate all the peaches. Take precautions next time. In the front, here's some sunflowers I planted from seed from last year's sunflowers. And these came to the house. It's for the bees. This is orange mint that I planted this year from a seedling start. Here's some milkweed for butterflies. Some of my strawberry transplants are up here. I have lemon balm under this tree, and I planted some Cherokee Trail of Tears beans underneath, running it up so I can climb the tree. There's an eastern redbud tree I planted this year. Yeah, some marigolds that I planted. I'm just trying to get rid of my marigold seeds. Here's another one. More strawberries. This is chamomile, if it ever does anything. More milkweed. There's a cotton plant that I planted on a lark. It's the only one that really survived. Here's some wild strawberry. Okay. There's muscadine. Some more zucchini plants, which I just planted for texture here, but they've been producing really well too. And anacisip. This zucchini plant is trying to knock it down. More lemon balm, rosemary, some more marigolds and coneflowers, which I didn't plant, so I'm not sure the exact variety. Okay, well, I think that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching. I did forget one thing. Okay, so in these black pots along this border of the garden, I have some potato plants and also some peanut plants growing. And the idea is I can just pile on soil in the bucket and have a bucket of potatoes at the end of the season. And this method allows me to not have to worry about potato diseases if you reuse the same soil for potatoes multiple years in a row, you can develop blight and other things. So just along this edge I have several potato plants in pots buried into the ground so the roots can go into the ground as well. Alright, the end for real.